Hello everybody, welcome to a special collage edition of Art Whisper 88. You might remember this piece I did a couple years ago. Actually, it's exactly 2 years ago when I used silicone mat. It's this one. It's kind of messed up right now because I didn't clean it, but it might serve my purpose. I decided I'm not going to waste this very pretty background, so I'm going to add some collage on top of it. And I have here a lot of material to work with, so I'm going to go ahead and assemble some elements here. And I'm going to keep the color palette very subdued. Now these were the tissue paper that I did with a reused nasal spray bottle, and I do like these marks a lot. And let me see how I can incorporate them. This is actually a double layer. I'm going to see if I can separate them. Now I may have a big hole in the middle, but that's okay. Alright, so here's... Now this piece also has no border, so I can let the tissue paper go beyond the edge of the paper. So I will start mounting. By the way, this is Mod Podge matte, and I have diluted it about, I'd say a quarter of a cup of water to this whole bottle, just to make it more fluid. It's much easier to spread because straight out of the bottle it's very thick. And I find that adding a little water helps. And since this tissue is very fragile, I'm being extra careful not to push too hard with my brush. I don't want to rip the paper. Okay. And there are times where I will change my mind in the middle of collage. That's why I like collage, because it gives you the freedom to decide what you think looks good. at the spur of the moment. There's a little bit more of a feeling of freedom because there's no border to worry about. Okay, that's it for the first layer. I may introduce a third color, maybe like an earth tone, like a burnt sienna or copper. I'll wait until this will dry and then I'll make that decision. So don't go away. I actually found more of this warm-up exercise on copper tissue paper. I think it will look good here. So let me see. I'm going to add this here. And these decisions are very spontaneous. I don't overthink the positioning. It's just instinctive. Now you could say I am very heavily influenced by graffiti. Being a citizen of New York City, I have been staring at subway walls for over half a century. So I'm greatly influenced by the calligraphic strokes of graffiti and the layers of posters and announcements and advertising. So it's inescapable when you live in a big city, and it affects my aesthetic, which I'm grateful for. It's raw, it's gritty, but it's real. Okay, I think I'm going to stop and let this dry. And I'll be right back. Okay, back after a few minutes. Paper is somewhat dry. Now, this is what happens when your paper is not heavy enough. This was a lightweight. I think this is 90 pounds as compared to the usual 140-pound paper that I use. And when paper is not thick enough, it waves, it wiggles when it gets wet because the fibers of the paper expand and contract at different rates. So the parts that stay dry are expanded, and then the parts that get wet, they shrink, and that creates unevenness. So what I intend to do when I'm done is I'm going to lightly mist the paper from the back and then let it dry between two heavy weights, maybe like some more paper or some books. And that overnight, usually overnight, that will solve the problem of the waviness. But anyway, I'm going to add the last layer. This is one of my favorites. This is High Flow Acrylic by Golden. It's a pyro orange. And I want to draw a very large oval here. A small one here. Okay. I think that does it. I'm not going to wait for the orange to dry. That takes a while. I'm going to show you a close-up. I just am going to be very careful when I move this. So you can see the background texture interacting with the collage elements and the hand-drawn line in a bright orange. Now, what I might do also, when this is completely dry, I might apply a coat of sealer, like a satin sealer, just to make the paper stronger because it's not that heavy of a paper. But I hope you like this video. It took 2 years, but I feel more confident now of what elements I can use, I can put, either painted, printed, or collaged. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. And please check out my website, artwhisper88.com. And my pieces are for sale on this website. And the proceeds help to keep this channel going. Thank you once more, and I hope to see you next time.